All right, so I'm going to start porting tonight. This is my first time doing any porting on any part of an engine. So I'm learning. Put in the comments if I'm doing this totally wrong. But I'm starting with the lower intake manifold. This is a stock 80 out of an 87 engine. So the reason I'm starting with this is they're very easy to come by. There's lots of them still in wrecking yards. They're not very valuable. There's much better ones out there. So if I mess this one up, it'll be easy to find a replacement and even find a better one. So I'm going to start out with that and port it as well as I think I can. And I have a friend who's going to look at it and tell me if I'm doing a bad job. So here we go. So here's a quick shot of the tools I'm using for this. Nothing too exciting here. Obviously, safety equipment, gloves, hearing protection, safety glasses, carbide bit. I have a couple of different carbide bits available. Little brush grinder for cleaning off the surface, which is sort of grubby. WD-40 to lubricate the carbide. A marker to mark what I'm going to take off, and I'll show that in a minute. Electric die grinder with a very cheap, the cheapest Amazon speed control I could get online, air tool oil, and a flashlight for looking down inside. And these are the intake ports, and you can see a line actually around them where the intake port is much smaller than the intake port on the head. And if I put the gasket on, it's even more clear how much smaller that hole is. And there's kind of a lip under here actually. So when the air comes through there, it's going to get restricted, it's going to slow down, and you're going to get less air going into the engine, so less power. So if I can make that hole bigger and also smoother, because it's a pretty rough texture in there, I should be able to make this car go faster for very little money. Okay, so the next step is to mark the material I'm going to remove. Now I do have to be careful that I don't blow through the sides of this. Some of these have more material than others, so I got to be aware of how much material there is on the other side. So for example, this one here, if I come out too far, I'm going to get into this area back here, so I got to watch out for that. So to make sure this doesn't move around while I'm working on it, two pieces of 2x4 screwed down to a piece of old plywood. It's pretty stable. It's not going to move around on me. So I'm lining this up. I left this old silicone from the old gasket on there. That should give me a really good idea where the gasket ends up when the engine's assembled. I'm going to hold that there. And then mark with just a Sharpie all around each of these ports, being very careful not to move the gasket. And just to make sure I have really good marks, I'm going to go around with this little scribe. So that's all marked out. So now the goal is to effectively remove all of this red material, and it'll make the ports that much bigger. And then I'll end up doing the same on the head itself. So the intake hole will match the gasket hole, which will match the hole in the head when it's all done. really bad. Well, that's a lot better. So here's a shot of what I have accomplished so far tonight. Numbers 1 and 2 are mostly done. I got a little bit more cleanup to do. Again, I'm constrained by the shape of these runners. I can't make that a perfectly straight shot, but I'm doing my best. No more to do there. You can see there where it curves to the right, which is why my hole there looks like it curves to the right and pinches. But I'll work on that a little bit more. When you look at that compared to what I started with, that is an amazing improvement. So that should flow a bunch more air and hopefully make a bunch more power. So I'm going to work on this some more, and I'll post a video of this and the heads when they're done. Next video should be me porting heads, which is more or less the same process. So thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.